Hello, Internet. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Gina, otherwise known as Ginger Dash. And for those of you who are returning for yet another installment of What Will I Talk About Today, welcome. Today we are riding around town simply because I have all of these things in my head that I want to talk about, and I just can't put them in order. So I figured I would take it easy on myself and wander around a bit. So I should also mention that I'm not one who normally suffers from like massive allergies in the spring or any other time really, but man, I wasn't sure I was going to ride today because my eyes have been itchy and my nose has been running, and it's a little hard to ride if you're trying to blow your nose every 2 minutes. But honestly, I guess what I want to talk about is how very interesting it is to me that people who don't live in Florida look at Florida as some mecca of amazingness. And now, before anybody who does live here gets their feelings hurt, I've been here for 25 years, but I was not born and raised here. And maybe that is why, for me, oh man, summer times here are simply brutal. And it has always been my least favorite time of year, summertime. So yeah, I'm labeling it now. I've already got the summertime blues. Oh, gosh. I feel like from May to September, I essentially run from one air-conditioned spot to another. And on a motorcycle, well, you can't really do that. So yeah, for me, I dread summertime because if you don't live here, I don't think people realize that it is really oppressive for like 5 months out of the year, or at least a good 3 months in the center, and just miserable the rest of the time. The humidity is insane, and I've frequently described it to people who don't live here as swimming through soup, because that's what it feels like. You can walk outside at 8 a.m. and you immediately break out into a sweat. So you can imagine how much fun it is to layer up with all of the appropriate safety gear for riding, and then to go out and ride, especially in the middle of the day. So I'm not going to spend this entire video bashing Florida. That's certainly not my intent. We do have things that make it great to live here, and in fact, if I were old enough and wealthy enough, I think I would be a snowbird. And for those of you who don't know what a snowbird is, let me enlighten you. A snowbird is someone who lives in the north and they buy a vacation home in Florida, and they visit that vacation home for about 50% of the year, and that is during the winter time. So they retreat up north to avoid the oppressive summers, and they live down here where it's, notably pretty awesome in the winter time. And while we do get some really cold times in the winter, yes, we can legitimately ride for the most part all year round, depending on how much misery you're willing to put up with. I know some people feel like they can beat the heat on a motorcycle by dressing in shorts and short sleeves and wearing no helmets, and if that's you, well, that's your choice, but it will never be mine. I would rather keep my skin where it is. And I have watched some videos and I've read some things, things that people suggest to try and stay cool or cooler in the summertime. But I'm curious, for those of you especially who live in the deep south and experience weather in Florida or similar to us here in Florida, what do you do? Do you adjust your riding style? Do you ride early mornings only or late in the evening? Another thing that I have to consider is this would be my first summer motovlogging. And as you know, as you can see, it is quite necessary to have all, and that means all, of the vents closed on the helmet to be able to cut down on wind noise when recording a video. And I can only imagine how unpleasant that's going to be. I've already told plenty of people that I become a big fat whiny baby when summertime rolls around, so at least I'm being honest. Now you know. Oh wow, what's that? Look at that! I have not been out here forever, and they are actually building like this off. Oh my gosh, it's open. Okay, this is a brand new road. I didn't even know it existed. Look at this. Like before, this was just a straight road. There was no overpass. This is so cool. I don't know why I'm excited about this, but I am. It's brand new. Huh. I mean, I'm not going to say the scenery is amazing, but I do know that for many, many years, the purpose, obviously, of this overpass is because there's a train track below us. And for many, many years, this is a very heavily trafficked road, especially at, you know, the time of day when people are going to work or coming home from work. And I can recall a few times getting stuck over here for one reason or another, and the line of traffic literally reaching back, you know, past several traffic lights. So creating that overpass was incredibly necessary, but go me, I didn't even know it was finished. Tells you how long it's been since I've been on this road, huh? So yeah, back to your riding style in the summertime. What do you do to ease the discomfort that comes with just, you know, oppressive heat? I do have a friend who last year, when I complained about how hot it was, she was like, ride faster. And while I do not discount that as a valid response to being hot, I think the times that I'm most bothered by the heat in the summer is when I'm sitting at traffic lights. Oh man, that is just not fun at all. I am concerned that I may have, even with the pin lock helmets or the pin lock insert in my visor, that I may have some fogging issues when it's summertime and I'm trying to record. Not sure how that'll work out. I am curious to know, for those of you who live in areas where you have to lock the bike up for 6 months or so and wait for riding weather, and you only get a short season of riding in. If you, and I say this because I don't think people can truly understand just how hot it is until they live here, but if you could, if money was no object and the fact that you might have to leave family or friends or whatever was no object, would you prefer to ride or live and ride somewhere that you could do it all year round, even if it meant dealing with some kind of brutal weather at times? Don't forget, we have hurricanes too. Oh boy, y'all are just gonna love this video. I can already tell. Oh my gosh, she won't shut up, she's whining. Yeah, well, we all do it. Just being real. Zoom zoom, friend. Okay then, I let him go first. I guess I'm glad I did. He had to pop a wheelie there. I'm not sure what that was. It looked kind of like an MT-07. Not like I know. Yeah, when I came out today, I was gonna talk about something completely different. Not summertime woes. But I realized that, man, it is creeping up on me, and I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to adjust my schedule to make it work for me to get out and record, and even just get out and ride and enjoy myself. Welcome bikers. That sign says welcome bikers. We are in Silver Springs, Florida right now, by the way. And I'm sure I'll cut away from this, but there you go. Welcome to Silver Springs. As I mentioned when I started this video, I actually had a lot of things on my mind, I guess, when I came out to ride today. And sometimes it's just not possible to sort them out in a way that they come together and make any sort of cohesive content. So instead, you get me rambling, riding around, and whining about summer. I am simply going to say I understand that for many of you, you are happily embracing the warmer weather wherever you are. I am not dismissing the joy that comes when cold starts to seep away and have warmth replace it. Maybe the fact that I'm northern born means I've just never been able to quite, I don't know, settle into this heat that comes with living in the deep south. Regardless, that is all I have for you this week. Hopefully next time I will come with a, I don't know, better organized mind. But until then, y'all have a good one.